Welcome to the Business Blast Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with the support you need to finish your book. Best part is, after you finish your book, they take care of the entire publishing and marketing process 100% for you. So, if you want to become a successful author, make sure to check out authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today I have Owens with us. She's an international yoga and meditation teacher based in Los Angeles, California. She travels the world extensively, leading retreats, teacher trainings, and seminars. And Ali has been featured in Yoga Journal and Mind Body Green for her contributions to the wellness industry. And you can find her classes online via popular platforms such as Udaya.com, YogisAnonymous.com, and YogaGlow.com. So welcome to the show, Ali.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Grateful to have you here. Let's jump into the first one. The first one I have for you is, what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Sure. The best story from my life thus far comes when I actually left my job in corporate marketing. I left my job kind of on a whim. I had been teaching yoga on the side and decided to take on an opportunity to fly to Bora Bora with two of my colleagues to launch a paddleboard fitness company. And there wasn't any certainty around that being necessarily a successful career path. But I took the leap, I took the jump, I trusted that the universe would support me in whatever it was that I set my mind to. And even though that company didn't actually end up coming into fruition, my yoga career did. So the message that I have for so many people who I talk to are wondering, how do you start that dream career or do what you love for a living? And my number one advice is to create the space and then trust, that you have all of the resources and the strength that you need to actually make that dream a reality.
And what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Yeah, the number one thing I run into all of the time are people who say that yoga isn't for them because they equate yoga to maybe something that they saw on social media or solely with the physical practice. And I've been doing this for over 10 years now. And all I have to say is that yoga is so much more than just the physical practice. You can get into meditation, you can get into nutrition and Ayurveda, but yoga really means to yoke. It is the union of the mind, body, and spirit. And so knowing that, yoga is really a practice of becoming more present.
And what is your best piece of overall business advice, so not necessarily industry specific?
The one thing that has helped me the most in my career is building a community of people who can support you. So for a lot of us, we feel like we want to control or micromanage or do it all. And every time I've done that in my career, I've ended up exhausted and overwhelmed and really not creating the sort of products that I'm really proud of. And so I would really recommend seeking out a community of people who can support you, finding mentors, and most importantly, outsourcing some of the work that might not be liberating for you. So really focusing on the things that fill you up with excitement and joy.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
To trust yourself. I feel as though my younger self was very insecure and always wanting to do everything right. And I think that the most important thing is just to get going, to take the first step. So to trust yourself and to know that it'll all work out just as it needs to.
And in your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
The key to happiness is knowing that it comes from within you. So rather than seeking happiness from outside sources or people or jobs or relationships, really cultivating that happiness from within is what will help you to lead and live a happy life.
And what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
So I love so many books, but when you sent me this question, the one that came to mind is the story of Siddhartha, and it's a very small book. I actually read it after doing the Nepali coastline hike and landing at this small little beach, and I just blasted through it in a day. But the number one thing that I took away from it, if you're unfamiliar with the story, it's the story of this man that goes on adventure in order to seek enlightenment. And he takes away everything from his life, material possessions, all of it. And then he goes to lead a life that's full of, lavish material objects. So he achieves a lot of material wealth. And he just goes on this really interesting adventure in order to seek enlightenment. And where he finds it is actually in nature. So the number one thing that I took away from this is that, enlightenment is something that already exists within us and that we have a lot to learn from Mother Nature. So just spending more time learning the lessons from her is where we're going to find that inner peace and tranquility. And that's really helped me a lot in my life.
And what is your favorite quote and why?
The secret to having it all is knowing that you already do. I love this quote. I found it years and years ago, and it's really helped me to work from the inside out rather than the outside in. I also believe that everything that you want or you desire, that you're working for, it already exists out there, and it's just waiting for you to grab onto it. So the secret to having it all is knowing that you already do.
Yes, I agree. Thank you so much for coming on, Allie. The last one I have for you before we let you go is, where's the best place for people to find you online?
The best place for people to find me online is my website, which is my name, AllieOwens.com. And you can also find me on social media at Allie, A-L-I-O-M, Yoga. So that's ALIOMYOGA. And I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, all of it. But admittingly, I'm posting a lot of photos of my family and my daughter right now. So I don't do those things.
Perfect. Thank you again for coming on.
All right. Thanks so much.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.